Male reproductive system. Testes are placed inside a sac-like structure called scrotum, which provide optimum temperature for spermatogenesis. That is 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, what lower than the body temperature. Okay, and then seminiferous tubules. Uh, this is the site where the spermatogenesis occurs. That is, sperm production occurs. The cells which provide nourishment for developing sperms, they are the Sertoli cells. Then the cell which produce testosterone, that is the Leydig cell. And then what? The FSH, the target cell of LH, that is the Leydig cell, which produces what? Testosterone. And then the target cell of FSH is Sertoli cell, which is involved in the spermatogenesis. Okay. That is, they produce different factors for spermatogenesis. Then accessory glands are seminal vesicles, prostate gland, which is single, and bulbourethral gland, which provide lubrication for sexual contact. Then seminal plasma contain fructose as the energy source, then calcium and enzymes. Then the spermatogenesis, it begins at puberty. Spermatogonium or primary male germ cell, which is diploid. It becomes primary spermatocyte, undergo growth and differentiation to become primary spermatocyte, which is diploid. And then it undergo what? Meiosis 1 to form 2 secondary spermatocytes, and each secondary spermatocyte undergo meiotic 2 to form finally 4 spermatids, which are haploid. And then spermiogenesis, it is a process by which spermatid becomes sperms. And then finally the spermiation, it is the release of spermatozoa from Sertoli cells. So thus one primary spermatocyte produces 4 sperms or spermatozoa. Then female reproductive system. Ovaries produce ova and female sex hormones. And oviduct or fallopian tube, it has 3 different parts. The first part is called as infundibulum. This is the infundibulum. And then the ampulla is there. And then finally, this is the isthmus. Okay. Then fertilization normally occurs at ampullary isthmic junction. Uterus has 3 layers. Outer layer called perimetrium, which is the protective layer. And then middle layer called myometrium, which is the muscular layer. And inner layer called endometrium, which is the vascular layer. And this endometrium undergoes cyclic changes during what? Menstrual cycle. Then about oogenesis, it begins during fetal life or embryonic stage. Primary oocytes remain arrested at prophase 1, and then at puberty, one primary oocyte completes meiotic 1 in each cycle. The ovulated cell is a secondary oocyte, not a mature ovum, and then secondary oocyte arrested at metaphase 2. Then meiosis 2 completed only after fertilization of sperm comes in contact with this secondary oocyte. Then one primary oocyte produces one functional ovum and what? 3 polar bodies. Then about menstrual cycle. This is a cycle that repeat after every 28 or 29 days. Then the menstrual phase, it is about the first day of menstruation to 5th day. Then follicular phase, where the follicle development and estrogen rises. Then ovulation around 14th day. And then LH surge is during the ovulation period, that is 14th day. Then luteal phase, it is the phase where corpus luteum secrete what? Progesterone, which is a pregnancy maintaining hormone. Then if fertilization do not occur, the corpus luteum degenerate and the estrogen and progesterone level decreases, which in turn result menstruation. And then fertilization and implantation. Sperm comes in contact with corona radiata and zona pellucida. Then acrosomal enzymes help sperm penetrate egg coverings. Fusion of sperm and secondary oocyte to form diploid zygote. Then the cleavage occurs, that is the division to form the cells, that is the blastomeres. Then it develops into the morula stage where it enters the uterus. Then it becomes the blastocyst. At this stage, the implantation occurs in endometrium. So implantation occurs at which stage? Blastocyst or blastula stage. Then pregnancy and parturition. HCG is secreted by trophoblast or placental tissue and maintains corpus luteum in early pregnancy. Placenta acts as endocrine tissue because it can produce different hormones. That is the HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, HPL, human placental lactogen, estrogen and progesterone. Then parturition, that is the childbirth. How? The oxytocin stimulate the uterine contractions during parturition, and parturition involves a positive feedback mechanism. Then the lactation. The prolactin is involved in milk production. Oxytocin is involved in milk ejection. And the first milk is called colostrum. This is very much rich in antibodies, that is IgA, and provides passive immunity to the newborn. So let us recap. That is, the target cell of LH is Leydig cell, which produces testosterone, and FSH is Sertoli cell. Then LH surge occurs during ovulation, and corpus luteum produces the hormone called progesterone, which maintains pregnancy. Then HCG, that is the corpus luteum, it maintains corpus luteum, and this is the hormone which is involved in the pregnancy test also. That is the HCG. Okay. And then the prolactin milk production, then oxytocin milk ejection, fertilization occurs ampullary isthmic junction, implantation occurs within the endometrium, and the secondary oocyte, this is the cell that releases during ovulation. So that is the ovulated cell, which on 14th day of menstrual cycle. Okay. And then the spermatogenesis in testis. The spermiogenesis, it is the process by which spermatid becomes sperm. Spermiation is the release of the sperms. Oogenesis occurs in ovaries and menstruation fall in estrogen and progesterone. Then one primary oocyte, one functional ovum. Then ovulation is due to LH surge. Then fertilization site. This thing we discussed and this also we discussed. Okay.